Welcome, Black Cajun Sports Talk Show. We are here, and we are here right on time. The PIAA playoffs are here. So today, we're going to give you a little preview of the state playoffs and a very, very quick recap of some of these games that took place in the district playoffs. In the building today, I have an all-star cast assembled. I have Mr. James Nelson Stewart here. He's familiar with some of these teams that play out in the hinterlands. You know, I'm not up on all of that. And we have our regular making a special appearance here, Mr. Amaro Alston. He's probably seen more Philadelphia high school basketball than anybody. And then we have Jacob, the voice. Schwartz is in the building. Over here in Camden, we're going to get this thing started. I'm going to throw a question out to each of you right now. Before we get into the new stuff that's coming up, the state playoffs, tell me what was the biggest surprise for each of you coming out of districts?
I guess it happened on back-to-back days or the same day. Lincoln beating Roman for the 12A. Lincoln beat Roman for the 6A District 12 championship. Wasn't expecting that, even though Lincoln does have a lot of talented players. And I think, you know, the shocker at Temple, Abington.
You were really shocked by that?
I was shocked by the way it happened. Not saying that it couldn't happen, but the way that the game transpired, PW looked like they were going to run away with it in the first half.
They did.
And then I'll just say the name Eric Dixon. Eric Dixon in the third quarter spurred a 29-8 run. Lucas Monroe, Robbie Heath, big game Robbie, as we always call him, and Nolan. You know, JP Nolan hit some very clutch shots in that game to keep him in the game in the first half. Like I said, I'm not necessarily surprised that they won the game, just the way how the game unfolded. It was
so Lincoln and Abington winning their respective district crowns was your big surprises. Amaro, who jumped up and surprised you in the district?
I was a little disappointed. I don't know if I'm surprised by anything because Lincoln has the type of talent that could beat anybody. I was a little disappointed with Roman. The Catholic League has been in state play since 2009 now, or 2008, whatever year it was. At some point, like this can't keep happening.
Gotta take it serious.
Where you just having let down and you making excuses for why is it. This just can't keep happening. As far as I'm concerned, the most important game is your next game. It's always your next game. Because at this time of year, your next game can be your last game. So that's always your most important game. So for them to say, for people they haven't said it, but for people to come out and say, well, they weren't up for the game or whatever, I don't want to hear that. You just gave up 86 points to that Lincoln team. 86 points, and you lost by 10 and pretty much got ran off the floor. That's bad. It's really bad, and Roman has been known to do this. Remember the year the Shep Gardner senior year, they went and played Norristown in the first round of the states and got ran off the floor, got ran off the court.
Yes,
they've been known to do this, and it's not. The excuses got to stop. This is bad. It's really bad, and these guys got to figure out. Look, you got more basketball to play.
Yes,
basketball doesn't stop. All right, the Catholic League is great, and I blame the Catholic League a little bit for this too because they don't want anything to be bigger than their show.
I spoke to Mike Wild and I spoke to Jack Concannon, and I asked them the question directly, and both of them, the question was, which is more important, the Catholic League or the states? And they both were very honest, but they both said exactly what you said. It's the Catholic League.
And that's fine. And I get it. The Catholic League championship is sacred. It's this great event where everybody comes out, all the stars come out, and everybody. But it's great. But guess what? You got more. It's only a league championship.
They used to play Alhambra after.
Yeah, used to play Alhambra. That's a Catholic tournament for Baltimore, Canada, DC, and
that was a great tournament though.
And
that still exists.
It still goes on. It's just that Philadelphia doesn't participate. And you know, and I think the Virginia teams never participated at a DC Catholic League. They go to their state tournaments. But it's just it's something's got to give. You got to get the kids refocused to play. I get it. The Catholic League championship is great. It's great. It's great. But you got to get refocused. You got more basketball to play. So when you lose your next game, what are you going to do? You're going to say, well, we didn't care. No, that's not. Nobody want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at this point. We've been doing this for 10 years now with the Catholic League and state tournament play. They can't take nights off.
Well, see, one of the problems I have with what you just stated is it just Roman? Because when Lamar Stevens and Tone Carr was there, they went back to back. You know what I mean? So is it an excuse like that? That's a tired excuse because did Tone Carr take it off? Does Newman Goretti take off their states or whatever else, or did Wood take off last year? Or did he want it? It's like
it's always been Roman. I remember it was a year before that CB South put them out.
They gonna say we bashing Roman.
I'm just saying, CB Central Buck South. They had a good player that year. Kid went to Princeton. Yes. Was a big 6'8" kid. They put him out. I mean, this is a trend with Roman. I mean, the only time that Roman got focused and went and ran through was when Tony and those guys were there. They wanted to win states. Those guys wanted to win states.
All right. Well, we got Lincoln, Abington, and Roman as a disappointment being surprising. What you got, Voice? Your debut segment on Black Cajun Sports Talk Show. What's your biggest surprise coming out of districts?
Well, Del Greco, to be perfectly honest, I guess really the biggest surprise had to have been because unfortunately I was actually out of town just this past weekend, but from what I was told, Lincoln gets the big win over Roman. This after Roman winning in what a lot of people were saying was a controversial ending to the Catholic League Championship. And Roman, people are saying, should not have won that game, as anybody that's looked at the replay said that the ball was, in fact, last touched by a member of the Kaolites. And Bonner gets the ball, possibly runs the clock out. The tables turn. Roman gets the basketball, takes it down to the last second. And, of course, we all know that anybody that lives in Philadelphia, Lynn Greer hits Hakeem hard for the game-winning shot. And to be able to go into districts and lose to a team like Lincoln, I respect very much Khalif Mears. I really got to credit what Ed McGettigan, the AD, has done hiring this new head coach for the past few years. Lincoln has certainly been one of the most surprising teams that you could, I guess, look for in the state tournament. But what's, I guess, sort of there really hasn't been, of what I've been able to see, it doesn't sound like there's been many disappointments, though. So I don't really know how to answer what's a disappointment. Probably the biggest one has to be Lincoln and Roman. Lincoln beating Roman. Roman, very unimpressive in districts.